Claire here from Makeup Minxie. So you've made a purchase. Congratulations and thank you very much. Without you I couldn't do what I do and I love. So if you're watching this video, you have bought the 3D Fibre Lash Mascara. So I'm going to show you my way of applying it and a couple of hints and tips. So get yourself ready. You need a handheld mirror. You might need a cotton bud for any kind of cleanups around here. You may need an eyelash comb, you may not. I have one to hand. And you need your transplanting gel and you need your fibres, and that's it. So let's get going. So first things first, why I recommend you use a handheld mirror. The reason I recommend this is because you can look down into the mirror while you're applying your mascara and you can get right to the root of your lashes and lift them up. That's what gives us the lift and the curl. I always get a little bit of a squidgy bit up there, so I always need a cotton bud, and sometimes I need an eyelash comb just to give them a quick flick through. So well, let's start. You need your fibre gel first, which essentially is a black gel mascara. Your transplanting gel first, which is essentially a black mascara. Now they've recently rejigged the formula, so we now have a bottle wiper, which means that there is no gunk on the end of the wand when it comes out. No gunk at all. And I've been using this for a month solid now and no gunk. Wiggle your mascara wand in the tube rather than pumping it, because that just puts loads of air into it. So let's get going, shall we? So this is my process. This is how I do it. So we take it out and we look into our mirror, and we look down into our mirror and try and get right to the root of the lashes, right to the very root. Don't worry about coating the ends at this stage. I want to get to the root, and that's so that we can give them a nice bit of lift. So hopefully you can all see that. I'm looking down into my mirror here. It's starting to go on now. So wiggle, wiggle to get right to the root. And lift your brush up slightly at the end. Look, see, I've already made a mess, but I'm messy. That's why I need a cotton bud. So wriggle right to the root, and then take the end of the wand and just get the outside edge. So that's our first coat. It's not perfect, but that's okay. And don't worry about this bit. If you've got the same as me, we can wipe that off at the end. Back into the pot, give it a little wiggle, pull it out, and same on the second eye. So you may have seen this applied slightly differently, but this is how I have got to how I like applying mine. So I'm putting a sort of first very, very light fine coat on each eye, working and concentrating on getting the lashes at the root covered in gel and lifted up, and then onto the outside edge. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Now, you could just leave it like that. If you're looking for a nice soft daytime look, you could just leave it like this. So, okay, you don't need to put the fibres on if you don't want to. So I'm going to go back into the pot and wiggle it around, and then we're going to put second coat on our first eye. Now you want a little bit more on here, I think, because this is what you want the fibres to stick to. And you want to go sort of mid-length to ends, really. See, we're starting to get a good bit of lift. Again, you don't need to put the fibres on now if you don't want to, if you want something a bit softer. I often, for the daytime, just wear the mascara without fibres. So good old wriggle around. That's giving the lashes a really good coat of gel. So we have got something for the fibres to stick to. Okay. So we do pull some funny faces when we put a mascara on, don't we? So pull out on the outside edge. Again, don't worry if it's not perfect right now, because that's why we've got a comb if we need to sort it out a bit later on. Okay, so there we go. That's 2 coats of just the gel, and you can see you don't actually have to put the fibres on, but I'm a massive lash addict, so I do like to put the fibres on. Now, my tip with the fibres is they can come out of the tube quite fluffy. You see that? I'm trying to do that with the tube, quite fluffy. So what I do, I just wiggle them off in the tube like this. Okay, so to lift off any loose ones. So can you see that that's made a bit of a difference, but we still have a couple of loose ones. So then I take the back of my hand and just roll down any loose ones, and then we go in with them. So same application is just the same as the gel. So wiggle it all the way through the lashes, and I found that by wiggling the wand in the pot, you don't get the fibres dropping off onto your cheeks. See, no drop. See how that's starting to thicken and build the length. If you find like this brush has got a couple of little loose ones again, just roll it again onto the back of your hand and just flatten them down. There is a knack to it. It's not like your normal mascara, but it is so totally worth it. It's false lash look without the false lash commitment. It's just totally worth it. So we're getting those into all the little bits of gel, sticking it all in. And making sure we get a nice full coverage. And just pull out on the outside edge again. So there we go, look. See the difference? Gel and fibres. Just gel. But that's just one coat. So we're going to leave those. We're going to leave those to stick into the gel now. Put your lid back on there. So we're going to go back into eye 2. Again, just pull out. We've got a little wibbly bit on the end like that, just scrape it off. And we're going to go in again and give number 2 eye a good coating of gel for our fibres to stick to. So wiggling around, if you wiggle the brush into the lashes, you get them nice and coated. If you get a little wonky bit, just pull it off. This mascara has recently been reformulated, has been totally rethought out, and I'm being completely honest with you now, I adore it. I am so glad that they've fixed it. I didn't get on very well with the previous model, but this one I really do. And I'm finally getting to grips with the brush. I'm a curved brush kind of girl normally, but I'm finally getting to grips with this brush. Okay, so there we are, we're ready for our fibres now. So you can see the difference. That is 2 coats with fibres, and that's just 2 coats of gel on its own, so you can really see the difference. So same again with the fibres, just wiggle off any excess. Okay, and if you've got fluffy ones, just roll them on the back of your hand. So back in with our little mirror. And give them a wiggle through the lashes. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I've been meaning to do this video for such a long time, so thank you for being so patient with me. And I find by just wiping off the fibre wand, you don't get that sticky, clumpy, really awful look. You get a really nice fluffy finish, which is what we want when you see these beautiful false lashes. They're full and fluffy and gorgeous, and this is what you want from your eyelashes. So, and if you want a more dramatic look, you can repeat the process, but this is my normal, if I'm working in my studio, this is the process that I'll use. Okay, so you can see we've got our fibres on there, and what an awesome difference. So those are stuck now, so we can go back in with our gel and just seal them in. Now we don't want a lot of gel on here, so we just wiggle the brush out and just seal. Now at this stage, just use a really light pressure on the wand. I find it makes such a difference, because all we're doing at this stage is sealing in our fibres and making them stick. I'm hoping you're finding this useful. If there's something that you're not sure of, or you're using the mascara and it's not quite going to plan, then give me a shout. I'm always here to help. But it does take a bit of practice. It's not like any other mascara you've ever used before. It does take a bit more of a practice and a knack. And as always, my motto is less is best. Start with a little bit at a time and build up to the look that you want to achieve. It's always better. You can always put a bit more on than take off if you've made a mess up and put too much on. Alright, so what I'm doing now is just making sure I've got the fibres sealed in at the very, very tips of my lashes. Now, sometimes I have my lashes lifted or curled, but at the moment they're not. So this is purely the mascara doing all this work right now. And that's why it's so important to get right to the root of the lashes on the first application. So just a little bit on the bottom lashes, just to bring everything together. So there is one eye finished. And I have made a little bit of a mess up here, look, so I'm just going to tidy that up. Just rub it over with the wand, with the little cotton pad. And down there, I can't really... I've always been messy with my mascara, always. But I often wear an eyeliner, so you can't really see it then, so the mess is behind the eyeliner. Just give that a little comb through. I don't actually need to comb those lashes on that one, so that's quite good, and that's why it's worth taking your time with it. Okay, so we're going to do the same on this one and stick in our fibres. You do get quicker. Obviously I'm a bit slower today because I'm talking you through it. You do get quicker the more you use it, and you will never ever ever buy another mascara again, I promise you. Particularly if you really like the full, fluffy look. So there we are, we've got those sealed in. Did I make a mess on that one? Yeah, a little bit. I'll tidy that up in a sec. And just finish off bottom lashes. Excuse the extreme close-up, I'm using the camera to do this. Well, I'm actually using my phone. And as you can see, I'm in my little spare bedroom with all the junk that's in here. Let's give those a tidy up. So there we go. That is how you apply the 3D lashes. So, my tips. Handheld mirror, absolutely essential. Absolutely essential. For me, a cotton bud, essential. Eyelash comb. I don't need it today. Some days I do. I don't need it today. And obviously you've got your little whizzy pair. So let's make myself ready for the day. No, I think I need to straighten my fringe. Oh no, that's gone okay. So there we are. Application of 3D lashes. Hope let's find that helpful. Bye bye.